A 7-year-old boy with his father is walking along the street. All stores were brightly lighted except for one store that was dark, black, and has blinking and flashing lights. His father brought him a chair when he can stand to reach the keyboard. With his father standing behind him, he began his first game, Space Invaders. He stood there on the chair tapping buttons wondering what was wrong, while his father went over to the storekeeper. The storekeeper wore a nylon necklace and keys hanging on it. The storekeeper take the necklace off and put the key into the hole and fix. The machine started up again. His mother asked him why he's staring at the mirror, and when he tried to explain that he wanted to disappear, he was brought him by ear, and commanded him to forget that foolishness. His parents sent him out of the house to play with the neighborhood's kids. But because they were loud, rowdy, and rough and pushed him away to the ground and make fun of his hoodie. When the rest of his family migrated to another country, he'd broken ties with this world. He dropped out of school, moved into a room near the mall, and started working as a shopkeeper at the arcade. For a few years he lost himself in the arcade. Then, he met her. He hadn't seen her as more than the usual arcade visitor, until he saw her in a Sunday dress, that reminded him of the pink dress, worn by Princess Toadstool in the Donkey Kong and Super Mario Bros. Games. He was throttled back into the present when he saw her, his Princess Toadstool holding one boy's arm. The wait wasn't long, because at one of the gunning games he lashed out at her. She had leaned over and held King Koopa's arm, which made him lose his aims, miss, take a hit, and get a game over. He threw the gun down so that it hung by its metallic cord, turned to face her, and started calling her stupid, a waste of time, and a mistake to have even hung out with. And that's when he came in, sliding between Princess Toadstool and King Koopa. He nudged her back a bit, although she could barely move as she fought to keep her cheeks dry. He felt the urge to stomp the boy, but instead grabbed him by the collar and led him out of the arcade and handed him over to the guard. He came back to his Princess Toadstool, who had succumbed to King Koopa's attack, and he held her hand and led her to the back room where she could sit down. As she was leaving, she thanked him, and he told her that he noticed that she came in every Sunday. Then he said that he'd see her Sunday, and she smiled and left. On the other day, when he was busy doing his work, one of Princess Toadstool's brother came up to him and told him that his sister was calling him. She was sitting in the machine holding onto the steering wheel. She told him that it had eaten her token, so he bent into the machine and gave the key a twist. He waited for her to recognize him, but she just gave him a blank smile. And as those thoughts played like a loop reel in his mind, he felt that no one knew him. No one bothered to notice who he was. He was not a person, he was just the key that he held. He waited until he was alone so that he could turn the key and come alive again. As he approached the grocery store and started firing, bang bang bang, reload, he could feel himself gaining substance, not being a blank anymore. In the morning, the guard came to find a gun hanging from its arcade machine. He figured the last man working the night shift had forgotten it, so he returned it to the arcade's owner. Later that week, the owner had to replace one of the machines in the arcade. It wouldn't accept tokens, and the game would go on from start to end, with the display following a distinct rhythm: bang bang bang, reload.